Welcome back to the UpVote channel. What's the scariest thing going on in our world right now that not enough people know or talk about? The collapse of the insect population. Over the past 5 to 10 years, the insect population in our neighborhood has tanked. No more fireflies, no more bees, no more butterflies. And this year was the first year toads didn't come to our swimming pool and have their orgy. It's terrifying how quickly these changes have taken place. Not the scariest, but a lot of the people who helped clean up the BP oil spill from Horizon are suffering long-term medical issues. Their case has been essentially swept under the rug. Antibiotic resistance and the overprescribing of them. I don't think this gets talked about nearly enough, and it's already a problem. I remember reading an article recently that said in the future antibiotic-resistant bacteria-related deaths will surpass cancer deaths. Medical student here. I learned in class that by 2050 infectious diseases will surpass cancer as the second leading cause of death in the US. Also, 70% of all antibiotic use in the US is in raising cattle. The problem is that pharmaceutical companies would rather produce a heart medication that you need to buy for the rest of your life than an antibiotic that you'd take for a relatively short period of time. When Texas flooded during Hurricane Harvey, there were 13 Superfund sites that got hit. A Superfund site is an area where there are hazardous substances or pollutants on a huge scale. A bunch of chemicals got swept away into those floodwaters, and no one will know the effect for years. I think the scariest thing is that everyone is talking about things that should terrify us, but we're all too apathetic to care. Not apathetic, your emotional systems developed to operate in groups of humans of 50 to 100 members. We just don't have the ability to intuitively feel every form of danger even if we know for a fact. A good example of this lack of intuition, for lack of a better term, is people are totally happy getting in their car every day and operate completely normally, yet when they fly every bump can cause them to grip the seat handle, etc., because we just intuitively know we shouldn't be in the sky. We were never designed for that. But it really is a failure of biology, because car accidents kill approximately 30,000 plus in the US alone every year, while something like 1 out of every million flights crashes or something like that. Driving is way more dangerous, yet no one cares. But that's not a conscious choice, it's just a failure of our intuitions. There is straight up, actual human slavery that is going on in parts of the world. We've just kind of been collectively uninformed or ignoring it, and it's really fucked. It goes on in developed countries too, probably in all major cities. People are trafficked through Victoria Coach Station in London, so much the police have operations with spotters. The sterilization crisis in the medical device industry, and how it impacts our access to safe medical products. And on top of that, how major companies have been off-gassing toxic ethylene oxide gas that has been causing cancer in people who live next to factories for years, and no one gave a shit. The amount of microplastics, medicine, and unkillable pathogens in wastewater treatment. Due to the relatively low medicine concentrations, bacteria and viruses are building up resilience against the common antibacteria and antiviral medicine, which will eventually form a super pathogen that requires a totally new production method. Microplastics are very destructive to aquatic life and will do a lot of damage to the marine life. Water in general will be the new oil due to climate change, so that won't be fun either. Last night, I watched the documentary Dark Money on Amazon Prime. It focuses on Montana as a microcosm of how corporate interests are attempting to wind back the clock to the days when a company could control government. Basically, they look back at the company town mentality of 100 years ago and the model where wealthy business owners could buy an entire legislature and say, "That's awesome, let's do that." Checks and balances? Oversight? Journalism? Some form of structure that would stave off corrupt practices? They're working towards a paradigm where none of that is active, and democracy is as dead as last year's flowers. Right here in the land of the free. Be sure to write in the comments what you think about it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and watch our other videos.